head and his hands were white like wool, that's white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like as a fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. And his voice is the sound of many waters. Got hit, now we're doing things that don't make sense. It's like we power down begging for the pit. I guess it's cause so many people get it lit up. Set the fence, jail time is we set up. If you wanna be successful, do you shut up and let up? Or give up on the family cause we get it wet up? Being pacified by delusion, with confusion as a resolution. Can you stop being prostituted by the beast? Start loving one another, knowing we the least. He said my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. Check out the other, it's a fox in the island. Hit the blind, lead the blind, they'll both fall in the ditch. But if the people who are called by the name of the Most High turn from their wicked ways, he can take away a switch. Better than the crest, he can take away the stain in the whole stick.
Shalom.
And wash your mind from the lies that disguise in the doctrine of Willie Lynch. The bitch, the brother gets a sister by the light in the dark skin color. Printed us a Negro slave Bible. Is your name Toby or Kente? Are we only born to be chattel slave? I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold, bold. I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray you how you make me bold, bold. Yeah, they try to drop me from my faith. Throw me in that war, but guess who get the praise? How you got my back, and I ain't scared of none. They trying to knock me out, boy, I never run. I'm running for my king, and you can't stop it, man. I'm coming real strong, that you can't ignore. This is spirit battle, so put your flesh down. I'ma ride out on the devil head. I ain't never scared, watch me square up. Negro, we the people of the Bible. We don't mess around and bed them scrolls. We the kingdom of priests, let's go. Yahweh got a back, and we the strongest one. With God inside of us, we already won. Greater we see this within us, the heat that's in the well, and ain't no weapon formed against us ever gonna prosper. Your eyes ain't seen, or your ears have heard the things that Yah has prepared for his children. They ain't been determined, man, it's already written in the old covenant and the bit. How to shine, man. And we wait for the kingdom to come down for us to die in the sky. In the meantime, gotta keep the commandment. If we say we ain't seeing, we deceive ourselves, and the truth ain't in us, y'all say. Loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until the walls of Babylon fall down. I pray Yahweh make me bold as I ought to be. Speaking loud as I can until be adults, not children. All these movements against you. Family should be more important. And yeah, for sure, I agree with you. Black lives do matter, but the lives don't. Do we hate the word now? It's too much going on for us to be sitting here trying to put each other down. Double tone talk. We say black lives matter, then they say LGBT matter more. Everybody claim they got their own truth, so the whole truth they ignore. For the poor to be ignored and the people's blood to be spilled in the streets. No justice, ain't no peace. We scream and still seem defeat. No time to get your own, just appease the one that did the deed. I'm not just here to make you think, I'm here to make you hold your brother and sister. And tell them never give up, hold your head up, be stronger to the end. No trouble don't last always, and the sun gon' shine again.
Shalom, family. I'll be with you in a little bit. I'm just waiting so that the family can get their notifications and come on in so that we can get into it. But if this is all done, we'll get into it a little bit. So don't worry about it. We got this, family.
You see, we ain't gotta get our name in the book. We need to try to keep it in there. I can see hope in my eyes. how great our power pilgrim in this barren land. I got some things in my chest, so don't know how to express. Walking down this road, road to pass every test. I can't eat, y'all, I can't sleep, y'all. Save me from the water, cause I'm going there deeply. People keep talking, always deceiving. Trying to break it down, but you gotta keep believing. Whipped out the Bible, now they say they Peter Pan. Praying for my people, cause we all gotta stand. I wonder what's a lollipop that took my grandma and my uncle's side. This is cold world, trying to bring the truth out. People get paid, took the check to be a sell lot. Lying on the word, but it ain't no other way out. To my uncle, walk, gotta never give up. Across the world, everywhere, keep your eyes up. Pressing to the mark, yeah, man, and how you callin'? Hey, come and see a man that'll live it when you falling, God. I need, oh, how great our power pilgrim in this barren
against convicted sex offenders include vasectomies. It's a bill moving through the state legislature with bipartisan support filed by Representative Delisha Boyd of New Orleans. The original bill would have required vasectomies for offenders, but it was amended to leave it up to a judge. House Bill 166 now says, in addition to any other penalties provided by law, any person who is convicted of a sex offense may be subject to a vasectomy procedure. Let's take you to the committee hearing. There was some opposition and questioning of constitutionality, including from Bruce Riley, the deputy director of VOTE.
To what end are we going to physically impact people's bodies in terms of a punishment? Are we going to start chopping off the hands of thieves?
I just wondered about the constitutionality of just targeting one gender here.
But Louisiana's near absolute abortion ban is exclusively about women, and current law leaves them no exceptions for rape or incest.
I find it very hypocritical that we desire to preserve men. However, we love to regulate women.
In Louisiana, chemical castration of some sex offenders is already legal. And there's another bill, Senate Bill 371, that would allow for surgical castration of offenders when the victim is younger than 13.
Men are sensitive about certain things, and I'm hoping that this is a deterrent.
Boyd's bill passed without opposition, and the Louisiana House will take a look for closer debate.
All right, y'all. So apparently, Louisiana has passed.
Now, before I play this, I asked her to come over, and I don't know if she gonna come, but she gave her take on it, and I'm gonna let y'all hear what Ryder for Life had to say, and then I'm gonna come in and give my commentary. And I'm gonna drop the link for this one before I even start reading anything. All right, so I invited Wise Society. I invited Wise Society and another person to come up, and Brother Moshe, the commentator, if you want to come up as well, you could do that. Last time when I was up here, I had more than one person, more than two on the panel. So hopefully we'll be able to put that into works today, because family, this is a very important topic, And let me go ahead and play her so y'all can see her take on the whole situation. All right, so let me go ahead and get this here set up and we get into it.
Passed a bill that mandates sex offenders to get castrated for sexually abusing a minor under the age of 13. Which to me, I feel as though y'all know how I feel. We should be building caskets up in this joint. But listen to what they got to say.
Mandates surgical castrations of people convicted of a sex offense against a minor.
On Tuesday, the Louisiana Senate greenlit a bill to allow for convicted sex offenders whose crime was against a victim under 13 years old to be surgically castrated by the state. The castration would be performed by a licensed physician with the Department of Public Safety and Corrections.
So when you have that removed, an idea is that you are not producing this testosterone that would be responsible for that erection and also for that sex drive that we see in men.
Chemical castrations of certain sex offenders is already legal in Louisiana, specifically of people who harm children, those who commit violent sexual assaults or incest, and others.
Sexually abusing someone under the age of 13, then you should be subject to anything possible to prevent you from doing that again to a child. I mean, it's a horrific act.
Mandates surgical castrations of people.
So, I mean, this is a bill that's been passed. They've had it for a while already, but they're going towards the bill to actually put it in force, like to make the bill, you know, do what it's supposed to do, which I think they should have did before. But in my opinion, once again, castration doesn't work.
Louisiana judge has ordered a 54-year-old man to be physically castrated plus 50 years in prison after admitting to violating a 14-year-old girl and getting her pregnant. The assistant district attorney who prosecuted the case said, "Violating a juvenile is a very horrific crime, and I intend on using every tool that is given to me, including physical castration, to seek justice for the children in our community." Authorities began investigating the 54-year-old man after the 14-year-old girl said she had been violated multiple times, causing her to become pregnant. A DNA test was then ordered, proving he was the father of her child. The girl said, "The reason I let it go on for so long was I was scared. He threatened to hurt me and my family if I said something. And I didn't want to be to blame for someone getting hurt in my family. So I went along with it." A Louisiana judge.
So I can understand where they're coming from, you know, putting the bill in force, like, you know, using it to punish the convicts that sexually abuse the minors and stuff like that. But to me, I feel as though, yo, you put a dog down for biting a human, for biting a child, for biting an adult, for biting anybody, they'll put a dog down. So why not put these sexual offenders down for taking the innocence of a child? In my opinion, I used to think the same way. Castration is going to work. No, even with that, guess what? They'll think of different ways. I would love to know what y'all think and how y'all feel about this. Do y'all think they should mandate the castration bill in all states? Or do y'all think that they should put down sexual abusers like they put down a dog? Let y'all shorty know in the comments below.
What's the first?
Okay, so y'all heard the video, y'all heard the question. Children of Alahayim. Now, I'm gonna drop this link. And whoever willing to do the will of Yahweh today, if Yahweh open up time for you to be able to do it, please come up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some stuff for y'all while y'all make it up your mind what y'all want to do. First, I'm gonna start off with the scripture. Proverbs chapter 19. All right. Beginning at verse 9. All right. If y'all can see it, I got it highlighted in blue. Proverb 19 and beginning at verse 9. Hold on. There we go. Let me see. All right. Proverb 19 and verse 9. All right. If y'all can hear me clearly, if my audio is not muffled or anything, whatever happened, just let me know and I will work on it and fix it. I might need to turn my mic a little bit or whatever, but if it's good, then I'm just going to keep on reading. All right. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 9 say, a false witness shall, it says, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. All right. Delight is not seemly to a fool, for a fool, much less for a slave to have rule over princes. Let's go up. He that getteth wisdom loves his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. Let's go right here. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from Yahweh. Okay, now I have some more stuff I want to share with you. I know the history. Let me share the history with you. So we're going to go, remember who they spoke about in the video, Delisha Boyd. I want y'all to remember that. They spoke about a woman named Delisha Boyd. Let's go to Delisha Boyd and see who she is. This is the one that they say is the politician that's pushing for the castration of men convicted of sexual assault. And I'm going to play the video again for y'all before we leave off of here. All right, listen to this and listen close. Delisha Boyd is an American politician and real estate broker, serving as a member of the Louisiana House of Representatives from the 102, 102nd District. She assumed office on November 29th, 2001. Early life and education. Boyd was raised in uptown New Orleans and graduated from Xavier University. Y'all want to know what that university is? Xavier University Preparatory School was a private Catholic high school in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament founded, owned, and operated the school, having opened in 1915 as what would eventually become Xavier University of Louisiana. They go to school. Pay attention. Preparatory school. Right here. That's the Catholic school. She earned a Bachelor in Business Administration. The Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA, Bachelor of Science in Business, Bachelor of Science, what we've been studying in Business Administration, or Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration is a bachelor's degree in business administration awarded by colleges and universities after completion of a 4-year typical 120 credits undergrad. All right. She got her master's. Southern University at Southern University. Southern University at New Orleans is a public historically black university. Is a public historically black university in New Orleans. So she got her Christian theology degree, and then she went over to at the high school. She got a Christian degree at that school, and then right here she studied at Southern University at New Orleans. Is a public historically black university in New Orleans, Louisiana. It is a member of the Southern University system and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. All right, so she got assistance in her life. Southern University at New Orleans. A Master of Business Administration. A Master of Business Administration is a post-grad degree focused on business administration, the core. So she know how to do business and paperwork. The core courses in the MBA program cover various areas of business administration, such as accounting, applied statistics. So she know how to read, human resources, business communication, business ethics, all right, from University of Phoenix, all right, and then she went University of Phoenix, UOPX is a private for-profit university headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona, founded in 1976. The university confers certificates and degrees at the certificate, associate, bachelor, master, and doctoral degree levels. Doctoral degree levels. It is institutionally accredited, and I don't want to read any further than that, but let's go up right here. From 1993 to 2011, Boyd operated a talent and casting agency. From 2011 to 2014, she worked as an associate real estate broker and investor. In 2014, she established Delisha Boyd LLC, a full-service real estate brokerage. She's licensed in Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Since 2015, Boyd has also worked as a notary. Is a person authorized to perform acts in legal affairs, in particular witnessing signatures on documents. The form that the notarial profession takes varies with local legal systems. Okay? So a notary is a person authorized to perform, so they authorize her to perform acts in legal affairs, in particular witness signatures on documents. In particular, witnessing signatures on documents. The form that the notarial procession takes varies with local legal systems. She was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives. The Louisiana House of Representatives is the lower house of the Louisiana State Legislature, the state legislature of the U.S. state of Louisiana. This chamber is composed of 105 representatives, each of whom represents approximately 42,500 people. Members serve, all right, in a November 2021 special election, and I'm finna play with, she want to pass again, family. Y'all need to pay attention. Okay, thank you, sister. And if you want me to, I drop the link again and you can jump up. All right. This is what this woman is passing. That children under the age of 13, they already passed a bill that if somebody, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get into this. We need to look into this. And Shalom Akhabasi, thank you for coming out. I warn people not to come over here to America. All right. Look at this. False accusations of rape. False accusations of rape. A false accusation of rape happens when a person states that they or another person have been raped when no rape has occurred. This is in the Encyclopedia. And look right here. Look. Rape is a type of sexual assault involving sexual intercourse or other forms of sexual penetration carried out against a person without their consent. The act may be carried, I'll let you up in a few minutes, Mashpaka, I heard you click in, out by a physical force, correction, abuse authorized against a person who is incapable of giving valid consent, such as, all right, let me go ahead and come in and let the family come up on the all right, I see you, sister.
Shalom, how are you?
Shalom, sister.
Yeah, I just saw your message and I thought I'd jump over here. I'm glad you're still live. So I saw a little bit of what you're talking about, and I definitely want to add to it. But if you could catch me up, that would be great. Shalom, family.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, sister, is I'm gonna play the video for y'all again, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna jump right back onto this documentary.
Okay.
So I'll play the video for you again. Uh Let me go in there and make sure I got it correct. All right. Okie dokie. Um, I was supposed to remove the commercials. I didn't get to it yet, but once I get to the commercials being moved out the way, then we'll be all caught up to speed with this. All right, so let me go ahead and play this for y'all again. And then there's another commentator. I believe she's a sister that she's just mixed. There's another commentator that made a video on this as well, sister. And I'll play a little bit of what she said if you would like that as well. Would
Yeah.
you like that?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
In your breakdown, should penalties against convicted sex offenders include vasectomies? It's a bill moving through the state legislature with bipartisan support filed by Representative Delisha Boyd of New Orleans. The original bill would have required vasectomies for offenders, but it was amended to leave it up to a judge. House Bill 166 now says, in addition to any other penalties provided by law, any person who is convicted of a sex offense may be subject to a vasectomy procedure. Let's take you to the committee hearing. There was some opposition and questioning of constitutionality, including from Bruce Riley, the deputy director of VOTE.
To what end are we going to physically impact people's bodies in terms of punishment? Are we going to start chopping off the hands of thieves?
I just wondered about the constitutionality of just targeting one gender here.
But Louisiana's near absolute abortion ban is exclusively about women, and current law leaves them no exceptions for rape or incest.
I find it very hypocritical that we desire to preserve men. However, we love to regulate women.
In Louisiana, chemical castration of some sex offenders is already legal. And there's another bill, Senate Bill 371, that would allow for surgical castration of offenders.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here, and I'm gonna ask you, family, uh, is there a law that brothers is out here vouching for that our sisters be amputated of their organs if somebody lie on them and they get and they locked up in prison for sexual assault. How many brothers is locked up right now on sexual assault that did not commit it, and many of them have been exonerated out of prison? I don't see brothers uh vouching that sisters have their bosoms and things amputated off of them so that they won't be able to molest children and doing things that even in Africa. I remember being one of the spokesmen when they was doing circumcision on women in Africa. And I was saying, I don't think that's right. Y'all shouldn't do that to them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, sisters, I don't know if y'all should move to that area over there and have children, cause you know they trying to castrate people, and they said that they trying to figure out they want this law to pass through. So all somebody got to do is lie on you and say he touched me, he did this, like they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and like many people have done recently. There was a woman that accused these brothers of sexual assault, and she's and they put her in jail, but them boys uh they was trying to go to the NFL, and they lost a lot of endorsements and stuff, and people have this stigma on them now. You see what I'm saying, sister? So this is why I deem that this was very important for us as a family to come on here and talk about this, because you have a son, I have a brother, I have nephews. One day I would like to have a son, and all somebody got to do is lie on one of your people and have them put inside. And they didn't even put no Negro slave bill or nothing to protection act for us, but they gave everybody else protection. And then Louisiana passing bills as if everything and all the debt that they owe is squared away. They have us here as prisoners in these countries, and they are pushing laws against us. Look at what just happened in to the Ethiopian Hebrews over there, how they was doing that to the women over there. But how many people in the media on that end do you see speaking up for the people that's going through hell by these wicked laws and mandates? The majority of things you hear is people saying that it don't matter or it's not true. I just want to know, sister, what's your take on this situation here?
Well, I was reading through the code as you were talking about it, and as I looked at the video, and so I see that this particular Louisiana statute is in connection to Louisiana Statute Title 14, Section 46.5, and it says it in the Act, and in 46.5, you have a series of crimes that are either false imprisonment, trafficking, and other harm to children. And so I understand that they already have the penalties in place. I don't know why they needed to take it up an additional step to say now we're going to do this surgical or non-surgical castration, right? It's almost like they are just amending laws that are already harsh enough on the books for the crimes that are committed. And I don't think that it just has to do with children. I think that if you do it all together and it includes false imprisonment or aggravated assault. So that's why you see that 46.5. I just wanted to say that. I'm dealing with a situation right now, helping a parent whose child, I need y'all to hear this, was falsely accused of touching another child, and is 11 years old. It's a little black boy, and of course, the little girl is white, and the school told the mom that she couldn't bring her son back because all the other parents got together and told their kids to beat him up. And he didn't even touch the girl. She was mad about something else. Talk to the child myself, right? And so this is dangerous, depending on where you're
Yes.
at, because
Oh, look.
then, yeah,
Oh, when I was in school, oh, let me tell you what happened to me when I was in school. I wasn't even that old. Okay, I was in like around the 6th grade, right? And a girl lied on me. I'm not gonna give out her name, but a girl lied on me and said that I had did something to her in that manner what you were speaking of, and kicked me between my legs. And y'all forgive me, but I punched her right in her face. My mama them told me, don't you let nobody put their hands on you. She kicked me between my legs, and I punched her in her face, and my homeboy and everybody was taking her side. You know what I'm saying? And I got suspended on all these things. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
these
that's
black
what
life,
happened in this situation. The little girl was mad because she wanted to play tetherball, whatever, and it wasn't her turn, and he was winning, and she had to leave the court. She kicked him in between his legs to where he had to go to the hospital. Okay, he was swollen, and he didn't hit her, but he pushed her. And then when he pushed her, she said he touched her on her bottom, was rubbing
and
on
he
her,
got,
and
and they put him
he,
out to school.
yes,
Okay, and that sounds so familiar. You know, these things ain't just now being. This is how it is. And people act like we pretending, that like everything is a pretentious thing. This is not anything that what do we have to play with this for?
right.
Like what do our people have to lie for over there in the so-called middle of the East when they said that they womb was in a sterile position by by uh by what they did to them. What do people have to lie about? Why do we have to lie about somebody lying on us? You know what I'm saying? If you guilty, you guilty. But here's the thing: if you're not guilty, what happened to the people that's put in these situations that's innocent, which is going to be, I believe, in my honest opinion, the majority of the time. And I'm not trying to say that there's no women that has been abused. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's nobody that's been abused. But like I said, they what the European guy was saying, which I think was a good thing that he said. Why would you do that? Okay, so what is the penalty for the women? Because if you do that to him, what if you find out that he's not guilty? What if the person come back years later after they done got this man castrated or this little boy castrated, and when he get grown and you 30 and 40 years old and you done live almost all your life, you got children, you got family, and then this person was locked up off of you lying on them, and when they get out they castrate, and then the person just say, oh, I'm sorry, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. And a lot of times they don't even give them any repair, any reparations for it. And the man life is gone anyway. You know what
There's
I'm
no
saying? His life,
reparations for
yes.
taking, yeah, no,
There's no life after that. Like I said, and I told my wife, there are some things that if you do to a man, he need to just, all the innocent people, you not in this right here. But the people who hurting people, they need to be recompensed. And like I said, this is wrong. But they passed the bill. You see what I'm saying? What
so,
and
the thing about it is that where's the boundary line to say, keep your hands off of my body because my body don't belong to the government, right? Even if, just saying, even if you commit a crime, it doesn't mean that you lose all of your rights. Okay, you
yeah,
have
they
people
playing
who,
y'all.
exactly, you didn't lose everything. You might have lost your Fourth Amendment right, but that didn't mean you lost everything, right? And so the worst place for us to be is in these people's imaginations. The worst place for us to be is in these people's imaginations. And it seems like, it's almost like a repeat of Jezebel with eunuchs. How many eunuchs do you need?
I
Right?
see why Elijah was running from her.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people look at Elijah, Elijah, and say, "Oh, Elijah got scared of a woman. He was running from a woman." No, This man was running from a beast. What people need to understand is that just because a woman is in charge, or it could even be a child in charge, I think a dog would be a better. Oh, it's sad to say, but I think a dog would be a better leader. Just follow the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
My
right. I mean,
goodness.
Louisiana is one of the states that still literally has a plantation. Because if you look at the
Right,
penitentiary of Angola, I think that's what it's called. They're over there picking, corn and okra and all that. And if you look at the population, you see that the majority of them are men. So we
right,
already know from Central Park 5 and all these other things that have taken place before that and after that, who is accused most of doing things that they didn't. And they, even if the DNA that they have, in forensics doesn't clear them because they don't want to let them out, they going to continue to find a way to falsely imprison them.
right.
And it's like,
And
isn't Louisiana the state where there were 5 officers who sodomized those 2 men and held them captive and all of that?
but
Are
they
they
held not guilty.
yeah, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Are they going Angola? Yeah. Are they gonna be willing to castrate them 5 officers?
I don't think so.
Because they're passing this law, you know. Um and I thought last time I checked, Louisiana was also the place where they had all of those bodies in the shallow grave without any identity, and the families weren't even contacted.
And so what I'm saying, sister, I wanna ask you this, right? If you see people that pass Jezebelic laws, uh Idam wa Amara laws, Sodom and Amorah laws, and all type of evil things, why would our people, how can we trust the judgment of a person that can't even recollect that we haven't even gotten paid any restitution? See, some may say, well, this one got this here, that one got that there, but we all are still here. Everybody in this country has a country they can go back to. In Florida, and I want to point this out, and I'm finna let you speak your mind, sister. But in Florida, when our people was fleeing out of slavery, the people that was already over here 4,000 years ago, according to the records, before Spain and all them came over here, the people that was already over here, they took us in and they named us Seminoles. They wasn't calling themselves Seminole. They called us, the people that was brought over from the Spanish and Portuguese World War, slave trade. So the original people that was already over here, they named us Seminoles. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the Florida State University logo, who do you see on the logo? Now,
Right. I
I'm not,
mean, they do that all the time, replace and steal identities.
and so
Um,
it kind of like put our our torment and terror and horror in a pretentious sight, like in a pretentious viewpoint where people are getting callous to reality, which has been our past. You know what I'm saying? And if we think about it, there have been people from up in the north that was actually what they call it, abolitionist movement even back then.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So they say we're not like our ancestors, but you have European people that's facing prosecutions and stuff for actually trying to stand up. How many people from JFAD is facing sanctions and losing funds and all this stuff for doing what they ancestors did? Like many of them may say, well, my daddy was an abolitionist, and I just want to follow his step. I got off track and I want to get back on track or whatever. But you see it's the same thing, but it's just a different generation and people can't see it because they put all the horrors together as if it was happening in one day. But what people can't realize is that it is a flood, even though everything that's being done is not known right now, because it's a lot of things that's hidden from our eyesight. But there's a lot of things that's done right now that's done under the cover. You see what I'm saying? But if all the people that went through a torment right down to hell, people would think that it's an imagination of what Negroes is saying worldwide. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Because these people are masters at domestic terrorism, right? So what they do is steal, kill, destroy, repeat. That's their form of terrorism. Everywhere they go, steal, kill, destroy, repeat. Steal, kill, destroy, repeat. And it's almost like it's on remote. So to ask them to then have compassion or empathy, I don't think that they're capable. But what they do is terrorize. And in order to inflict terror on people constantly, you have to keep them in a continuous state of fright. They have to be frightened, running for their lives, intimidated. You know, if you can't scare them, your terror doesn't work, right? And so they have been able to effectively terrorize us, no matter where we're at, and in hopes that they will continue to keep us in a state of permanent servitude. Because if you're afraid, you're constantly on the go, looking over your shoulder. You know, you're in that flight or freeze status, right? And so this, what I see happening in Louisiana, and I want people to understand, I live in California. I look at some of the laws in Louisiana and they're similar to California. So I don't want anybody to get a misconception that it ain't happening here, because even though this is a so-called liberal state with all of these people that want to be free and fight oppression, they are continuously oppressing us, right? And I see similar laws in Louisiana that are in California. You don't have anything in common in the West and the South, so they say. But the thing that they do have in common is that they like to terrorize us. They like to oppress us. They like us to know or to think that we're going to be in a constant state of servitude to them. And so in order to do that, they put
Right.
the harshest things out. And we know that there's going to be target practice and who they're going to
Right.
target.
Exactly. Even when they passed that other thing that was going on recently, that they even made it almost against the law for you to even mention out of your mouth, even though it's in the English vocabulary. And that thing passed, and then they said, "Oh, it's more prevalent in the African American slaves, African American people who came over here as slaves." See, even the 94 crime bill, they're probably, I don't remember, sister, I was real young at that time when they did the 94 crime bill,
Mm-hmm.
1994.
Yeah,
I
with the
wasn't
three
that
strikes
old.
laws. Yeah, we were the harshest three strike law state was California. And they rolled that out as they were also convicting what they called um, super predators, which were children, right? And they all looked like us. And then while they were also fighting the so-called war on drugs that we've never gotten reparations from, right? And
Never.
so never, right? We know that that was a plot, particularly against us. We also know that the Black Messiah Project was a plot, particularly to disband the Black Panther movement out here on the West, right? And we never got reparations from the government itself um, committing those atrocities and even having to admit whether the paperwork is redacted or not. We know what they did. They never paid the families that, you know, were broken up, the families that lost parents, the families that was put into the system, children that were taken and put in child protective services and had to live their whole lives, you know, in some kind of environment that wasn't their family, all because of this so-called war on drugs.
I
Okay.
want to say this too, before you keep
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts, sister, please. Okay, you remember with the Donald Trump situation, right? How they quickly got him out of the office, right? Remember that? Now do you look at the stuff what's going on, and I want to ask you, how come they dragging their leg with this administration?
My thoughts as I see there's a lot going on, not just here in the US, but just internationally, right? And it's basically all of the systems are failing at one time. If you see, they tried to send the US and over the situation over there in the land, right? I don't want to say the name because I don't know how YouTube does algorithms and sometimes they just be messing around. They took that situation all the way to The Hague. Did the US listen? No, they poured out billions and more dollars, right? It's like this constant antagonism of the people because I think what they are looking for is to provoke people into civil war so that then they can say governments are failing all around, economies are failing all around, and we have to move into the one world order. So
Okay,
that in order to do that, you have to keep the people in a state of anger and frustration, aggravation, so that civil disorder breaks out. And then nobody can control their civil disorder. So then now, there are going to be nation states or nations that say, we got to get together. We got to form a union. We got to, do all of these things so that we can stop the civil disorder that's breaking out all over. And that is essentially where you're headed into that
okay.
one world type of order.
And Moshe came in the chat. Shalom Moshe, how you doing today, bro?
Shalom, Akyakwaba. Big salute. Shalom, big salute. Sister Y Society. Yeah, I took the
Shalom.
day off. I was a little under the weather earlier. I took the day off, so just came to chop it up with y'all. But Louisiana, it's a corrupt state. It's a post state. It's run by these corrupt politicians, like these good old boys clubs. Like the city I live in, they don't want the city to evolve. They want to keep the city back. A lot of roads all messed up. And I believe they still have, I'll take that, but I think they still have sundown towns in Louisiana. They still do have them. You can't go to some of these little small parishes, especially if you're a person of color, so-called black person. If you're not from around there, they know you're not from around there. You better not be around there at night, because you might be found missing, and that's straight up facts.
Yaquaba, can you bring up I want you to look this up. It's called the Dixie Mafia, the Dixie Mafia. And if you could bring that up so that we could talk about what Brother Moshe is saying, because he's absolutely right. Okay. And so
You want it in the Encyclopedia?
Yeah, go ahead and look it up in the Wikipedia. That's fine. And you'll see so that everybody can see you're not imagining this, right? This is for real. And so when I usually say the name Dixie Mafia, people think that I made that up. No, I didn't make that up. They made that up, and they're really presently active today. So if you could bring that up so we can show the people, our family members, what's going on with that. I want to talk a little bit about that because it's true.
Okay. Make sure to remind me to put this under my video. If y'all come under the video and don't see it in the tabs, please remind me to put it down. All right, I'm gonna share it now. All right, and Shalom, sister, B Sparrow. I saw you, sister. All right, y'all see? Is it sharing?
Yep. Okay, so if you look, I don't know if everybody can see, but if you look at the Dixie Mafia chart to the right, you'll see that it was founded in the late 1960s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was founded in mainly comprised of white Southerners and founded in Mississippi. Mississippi and Louisiana is next door to each other, right? And if you look at where it says years active, you see where it says years active? When did they cease to exist?
Huh, never.
They still active.
There's no death date to it.
It says present.
Mm-hmm.
From the 1960s to the present. Now, how can we Pull up a report about the Dixie Mafia or the Dixie Mob and know that they're still presently active in the South, but nobody else know that. I mean, the FBI and CIA don't know this,
Right.
right?
And look, they
Okay.
allied. The cowboy mafia. What? They got a cowboy mafia? They probably
Yep.
in Texas. That's crazy. A cowboy mafia.
You see that? And so look, it says, what are their activities? Illegal gambling, drug trafficking, prostitution, robbery, murder, arson, extortion, fraud, bootlegging, rum running, and political corruption.
Political corruption. That's their main stuff they be doing.
Now, let me ask you this: if somebody that's one of our people just get online and say that they doing all this right here, who gonna be knocking on their front door?
The
We
FBI.
don't. We can't even form an organized mafia or mob to be presently active.
Right.
I mean, that's why I said, brought up the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was working off an 11-point program to help the community and their people. And where are they? But these people have been present and active since 1960s, which that's probably just when they recorded them active. I'm sure they were active before that. Till today, it says present. Doing these activities, which are supposed to be considered illegal under the letter of the law, but how come they don't get stopped? Because you can't ask the same people that are committing the crimes to then hold themselves accountable under the law. You can't. You're not going to be able to. The political corruption are the politicians. You're going to ask the politicians to create laws and hold themselves accountable from them. So I want people to see this, to know what you're dealing with. These people are still active, doing what they do freely. And as Brother Moshe said, they over there in cooperation with the state line mob and the cowboy mafia. And I don't even, if we look those up, we'll see that they got all territories covered. All U.S. territories covered.
Mississippi.
Yeah, they say they operate in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. That's the deep South.
Yep. And they got a motto: "Thou shalt not snitch to the cops." Okay. It says,
but even if you snitch, all the information up here anyway.
How you gonna snitch to yourself? You don't think some of them are cops?
But look, all the information here up here anyway. So, what is snitching? Think about it.
Right. But these people continue to tell you who they are because they're sadistic. So what they do is tell you who they are because they get a kick and a rise out of you knowing that they're existing, you knowing that they feel untouchable, right? And nothing can be done about it.
And it's a high percentage change. They probably funding the KKK, the Dixie Mob. They probably got ties with the KKK.
The Dixie Mafia developed a huge presence within the local law enforcement system, and the FBI reported on this infiltration. It was out of control, said retired Special Agent Keith Bell, referring to the level of corruption in Biloxi and Harrison County. So much so that in 1983, federal authorities would designate the entire Harrison County Sheriff's Office as a criminal enterprise. How can we do that?
But we supposed to be the criminals. We supposed to be the drug dealers. We supposed to be we supposed to be all this stuff. And then what hurt my feelings is that people that say that they is from us, that they is our blood kindred, will migrate to America and come over here and start telling us that we lazy and that we crooks and we need to clean up and we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to do this. Look at even in North Carolina, fam. That and see they don't and it's like people get angry at people for expressing the feeling of of anger and wanted to be separated from confusion. This look at all this that's going on, and like people don't understand. Like you don't understand all these years. Look, and when we warn people, say, look, before y'all come over here, y'all need to have y'all ducks in order, have y'all stuff planned out. Like you need to have your business plan or whatever. You don't want to be over here where you have to depend on nobody. You better make sure that you want to come. You know, you you got to understand our history. People say, "Oh, it don't matter. What about white history?" This is white history right here.
Yep.
So I mean, what they talking about? This is fully known. Over here, it is. I can't get mad at people that may have been shown a film or something. They go to plant. That's a plant that grows out the ground. Yahweh made. You see what I'm saying? Yah made this. If you make spaghetti noodles with it, I don't know. It's a plant. But they criminalize you if you take this and roll it in paper. You see what I'm saying? And light it and smoke it. Even though they pass a law and say you can't go to the store and buy it, it's still people that they harass that go and buy this. They call it cannabis. They call it marijuana. Our people called it weed because it looked like a weed, don't it? Don't it look like a weed?
Yeah.
So, and when they say at 50, a lot of people listen to that rap, they don't even understand hip hop. When we say at 50, 5 fingers is not is 0 pointed back at you, but when you point at me, accusing me of the crime, 4 of them pointed back at you, along with the 5. You see what I'm saying? But people don't try to understand this right here. They just try to brush understanding aside for whatever means that they have, and it's stupid. You're not getting paid to be ignorant, unless you go and get inside of these fraternities. And I don't see how people that come from a father and a mother can join things like this. See, this is why even a lot of these people that's in these groups right here will look at you and say, I don't know why you want to be in this. This ain't for you. But if you want to be in it, they'll pay you, I guess. I don't know. They never offered me no money to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how these people getting their checks and calls. And there's been too many people trying to get on the Bad Girls Club, and they only got so much people to cast on the show. So why is we online trying to destroy one another? Why is we online trying to hurt one another's credibility? Why is we online not trying to understand the plight of your people? This don't make no sense. And then we got our people locked up in prison right now for committing crimes. But they not vouching, asking our people that's online taking up and talking down on your people. If your people need to be locked up for life, and look at this, and see, you look at our people and our situation, our mind state and everything, how many of our people need to be exonerated and let out of prison right now? Even the prisoners of our people that committed great crimes need to be let out on these charges. Look at all this. And brought over to their own country so that they can go through a proper what they call it, due process. But we don't have our own home country, because according to the slave law, that anything that belonged to the slave belonged to the master. So they moved this out of your land. You see what I'm saying? When Abraham Lincoln, 14th Amendment, boom. Now, no matter what the original people that was already over here in America said, they still confiscated all the land according to the 14th Amendment. And what did you get back, Negroes? All right, let me pause my mic. I'm getting passionate about this. Let me pause my mic. All right, go ahead, family. Y'all can speak on this right here.
So with regards to the Dixie Mafia and Dixie Mob, whatever name they go by, and Brother Moshe, I heard you say that it's probably the Triple K. Yeah, I mean, they just continue to reinvent themselves and have new names and go to new areas. But the reason that they do not go to the Midwest, states like, Illinois, right, Michigan, right, is for a particular reason. So they tried to take over the Midwest, but Al Capone and his boys shot them dead in what's called the St. Valentine's Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they dispersed to the South and took over the South in Tennessee, places like Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, because they couldn't do their illegal and political corruption type of games over in the area where the Sicilian Mafia was. Okay, so that's what led to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, because you had what was it's essentially a racial war between the Sicilian faction and the Irish gangsters. Okay, so you had them doing all this stuff, the bootlegging, the political corruption, and all of that, and then the St. Valentine's Massacre happened. Capone and his boys kicked them all out, and their families started to flee to the South, where they found the ability to thrive in their what they're doing. So I really want people to look at the way that not only are they in the middle of a battle between each other, but then they drag us in our bodies and our minds and try to hold us captive in the middle of their war. Why do they do that? Right? They want us to keep us in a certain condition, but then they don't want to free us from oppression because it's not profitable for them. They know without us, they can't do very much of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the Sicilians, they got to worry about the war over the triads and the Bratwa, which is the Russian mafia. They call them the Bratwa. Russian mafia. Like in the upper states, like in New York, you see, that's why New York's so corrupt. They got all these nationalities fighting for turf. There's a turf war. The whole state of New York is a turf war.
Yep.
These big city states, like in California, New York, especially New York. I mean, ever since the immigrants came from like Europe and the other side of the world, that's when it became a turf war.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just came back from New York literally about 2 weeks ago. And it's not a place that I would live, right? I mean, but the whole US is like a turf war because that's how they started it. You can't come and take over somebody else's stuff and then claim it as your own because of manifest destiny, and then you blame it on your wicked evil God and all of this other things you do, and then expect for you not to have to fight, because what come around go around. You reap what you sow. And we're just caught up in the middle in captivity with all of these people fighting against each other, fighting families out of Europe, that have this ongoing war.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
Family,
it's better to know what
this
we're
is
dealing
sad.
with. Mm-hmm.
It's sad that, and you could tell, let me say Shalom Mother April Showers for coming in. But you could tell that a lot of our people, my goodness, man, I can't, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I seen a sister online saying that the Hebrew Israelites, if they don't turn from their doctrine, they're gonna burn in hell for saying this stuff. But how many years have people been saying that we is monkeys and all these things, and that
Right.
we 3/5 of the human, and that we can't go into their heaven? And that's why I believe that even when Tupac had wrote that part of his song, he said that he don't want to die and go to their heaven. He said that's hell.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather be spawned. I'd rather be spawned and destroy their heaven.
Right. So I don't understand, how can our people agree with this foolishness? Negroes is not doing anything but telling one another that this is wrong and we need to pray and come together and love one another and build with one another. But we keep finding any argument with our religions to keep on stopping doing what we're supposed to do. And like there's even some Gentiles that say that they want to be in the kingdom, the real kingdom. But our people, they so blind they can't even see them people.
Right.
How many Gentiles that come from the line of Ashkenaz that told you and me and everybody that's willing to hear, look, y'all is the people of the book. How many Hamites told us you're not one of us? Right. How many people can tell you until you start looking into the information. This is not no hate speech. What did we say that was hateful? How many people think that their children should be amputated because of somebody said something about them? This is a wrong mindset, family, and we got to get out of this mindset. This ain't right. Like I said, this ain't right that we thinking of each other like we do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So she actually was saying that if they don't turn from the doctrine, they're going to actually burn in hell. Man, we've been burning in hell for the last 500 years in America. The hell she talking
This
about?
is our chastisement. Like, and then I hear some Israelites that's Christians or whatever else they may call themselves to be, that say that we waiting on tribulation to come, as if we living in peace. They say when the some people believe that the peace has already happened.
Huh? Oh, they tripping.
I don't know. Like, if I'm wondering about Christian theology, like, so you saying that Negroes need to get over what they're going through with, because think about what I'm saying, because that was in the past. So our tribulation as a people, what we don't call ourselves if we're Christian or spiritualists or whatever we want to call ourselves, or we'll say that's the past. So what we're really saying when some of us say that is that the tribulation that we have faced as a people is over with, and everything has been put in its proper place. And this is the way the earth is, and it ain't gonna get no better. If it ain't gonna get no better, then we just need Messiah to come back today. We need to pray quickly, like it said in the book of Revelation. Come quickly. Because if we not gonna do right by one another, then the only thing left is for judgment. That's all I know. If when the person say they don't want to repent, then what's left? When Masha put the line in the sand, and he said, "Who's on Allahayim's side?" And the ones that didn't come on his side, he didn't wait and say, "Okay, it's over with now," because all of the people that say they on Allahayim's side is on his side. No, he said that the earth opened up and swallowed the people alive that refused to come on Masha's side. Now Messiah, for the Christians, Messiah said that Moses spoke of him. And if you don't receive him through the witness of Moses, he said Moses will accuse you in the judgment.
That's right.
What you got to say, or Akhwatia, any one of y'all?
And you're on fire today. You're passionate about the subject. You're passionate. Yep. That is absolutely true, though. You know, they like, if we can't see the light, it's only thing left is judgment. You know, especially when it comes to these other nations. You know, and there's no peace on earth. What they talking about? Last time I checked, they still got war going on in some of these foreign lands. Look what's going on between Iran and Israel. They duking it out right now. You know, bombing each other. And to be honest, none of them belong in that little strip of land they call Israel. That's not the true size of Israel. You know, when the Most High restore everything, because 12 tribes can't fit in that little strip of land they call Israel today. When you read about the 12 tribes of Israel, it's a lot of tribes. You know, 12 tribes. And when everything be restored, 12 tribes ain't gonna be able to fit on that little strip of land. You know, and you know, I know the Palestinians, they going against the Israelis, and they can see they both don't belong in that land because that's our ancestral land. You know, the Israelites, those who believe in this Israelite faith, you know. But and I just want to say, if they destroy that Muslim temple, that's gonna be an all-out war. All them Muslim countries, they're gonna snap and go crazy probably if they was to bomb that dome temple, that Islamic temple in Israel. Mm-hmm.
Now look at this right here, and let's ask people that say that this is not hard suffering and going through bondage and tribulation. Tula died. This is Tula. Tula died 3rd October 1795. Also known as Tula Rugard, was an African man enslaved on the island of Caracal in the Dutch West Indies, who liberated himself and led the Caracal slave revolt of 1795. The revolt, which began on 17th August 1795, lasted for more than a month. He was executed on 3rd October. So he was executed. This man was not even trying to fight them. He thought, like a lot of people think today, he thought that maybe if I talk to the man, maybe if I talk to the governor, he said, maybe if I talk to the governor, they'll let us go. Maybe if I just speak to him, because he has to have some humanity in him to let us go back home or let us be free where we are. You know what they did? They never met with him. And every time they met with him, they just said, oh, we're going to give you an offer. Either you're going to turn yourself in as slaves, or we're going to come back here and fight with you. Or either you're going to turn yourself in and be a slave for the rest of your life, or either we're going to come back and fight with you. Either you're going to do this or we're going to come back and fight you. Guess what they did? The man say, no, we just want to be free. No hurt nobody. We just want to be left alone. We believe that you are good moral folk. Look, if you was afraid of an uprising, why would you stir up the hearts of people to see you as a foe of their existence, and they get angry at them when they try to defend their life? Self-defense is against defense when it come down to people like that. But why do people, this is Tula, this is his information right here, of this man that was massacred like he was and beaten beyond recognition like our Hamashiach was, and left behind a wife and a kid that had to grow up without a father in their life. And the same kind of spiritual laws, people is trying to tell us that because a man did this or a man did that, we should trust the judgment of a person, of a nation that ain't never treat us fairly and let us be. Even in Jamaica, they won't just let the people be. Even in Haiti, they still making people pay reparations for slavery that they was themselves put in. So how can people tell us that we is a cult organization, or we are not no organization? You know, they don't say to the French that they are an organization. They don't say to the Roman that they are an organization. They don't say to the Ethiopian that they are an organization. They say to you, when you say that you are a nation of people that come with a real bloodline, a real father and a real mother, and they'll call you in the code. Open your eyes, Israel.
You know what they're scared of most is our multiplication, right? And so, like, if you pay attention to the birth rates and their replacement rates, they're seriously fighting for genetic survival right now. Seriously fighting. And their birth rates are beyond the replacement rate for the people that they already have alive. It's like there wasn't a baby born in one part of Europe for like 6 months. And so they're constantly talking about, their fertility rates, their reproduction rates. So you hear what they are afraid of. And you see that also with Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh said, come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply. And it happened in the event of war that they also join our enemies and fight against us. So it's our answer is right there. Since you're afraid anyway, and you're going to deal shrewdly with us anyway, we might as well have the mindset of multiplication. Because that's the formula, right? Be fruitful and multiply. We might as well have the mindset of multiplication. Because it's something that obviously, genetically, they're not able to do right now. And so some of this, terrorism that they're enacting on us is out of their fear of dying off. Well, you know what? That's not our problem.
Right.
I think that is, part of reaping what you sow, right? Mm-hmm. And if we had the mindset of we're going to work with our people so that we could be fruitful and we can multiply, not fight against each other, and realize that at the end of the day, it's just us. We can't go over to them and say, protect us, because we can't appeal to a better nature that they don't have. It's just us. All the little petty bickering and fighting and division and all of that stuff. We got to come to the place where we say, no, we're going to stop. And we might not all stop. My dad reminds me all the time, like, you can't be stressed out because it's just a remnant. It's just a remnant. You looking at, your people and saying, like, why don't they understand, and why don't they come and do this, and why don't they come and do that? But you have to remember that the Father always has a remnant.
That's right. Always have and always will.
Always will. Right?
But
So even if they
sister,
think they could get rid of us, they can't,
I
because the
will.
Father always has a remnant.
But look, I will be still hollering in the wilderness, in the wilderness of the people, like Yochanan was doing.
Right.
And a lot of people looked at Yochanan as one of the people that you don't listen to. Yochanan came in camel skin. He had locks in his head. He lived outside. Come on now. He lived outside. And then the one that he said was the one that was to come after him. This man lived outside as well. So in these days, what will society call these kind of people that don't live inside of a big mansion, that live outside?
Yeah, they thought he was insane, radical, right? They thought that of all
Or
the
a bum.
prophets, right? Or a bum, right?
Right.
They thought that of Isaiah. They thought that of Jeremiah. They thought, listen, we're going to get fought from within, right? We're going to have to face the battles within, which is sad. It doesn't mean we're going to stop. I get exactly what you're saying, and that's why you have people saying that what we're professing and what we're teaching is going to lead us to hell, or whatever they want to say about us. I don't even care, right? I'm going to continue to share the truth and to speak wisdom into foolishness, right? Because wisdom is in direct opposition of foolishness, and wisdom is a defense. And whether people want to listen or not, our assignment is that we continue to do what we do. Occupied, right? But it's tragic when we're looking around at our people and seeing them in such a lost state, following after any wind of doctrine, listening to their enemies who have given them false information. It's very sad knowing that we have our brothers and sisters locked up on, frivolous charges, right? Spitting on the street kind of charges. Oh, they spit on the street and I saw them. Give them 20 years, And so there's a lot that we still, are prayerful about and heard about, but at the same time, it doesn't stop us from multiplying.
But like he said, this is their time. So like a lot of our people, we keep thinking, oh, because we don't understand this prophecy, oh, we need to do this and do that and get together and do that. No, there's only one way, and that's Messiah. You can get all this armory and everything you want. It's only one way. This is their time. Let me say this. Who can tame Leviathan? Who can tame Leviathan?
One of the Most High, and Christ could tame Leviathan.
Okay. Who has the heart of kings in his hand? But a lot of, I don't believe in him because that's the white man. Okay, well, you know what? With people like that, they want to play. I'm comedic. I'm okay, whatever, man. Look, let me tell you something. This stuff is set up. It's already set in stone. It's already set in stone. This is how it is. This is not how it's going to be forever. But if you want to believe any wind, wave, and doctrine that come your way, it's on you. But the only thing that matches your situation, past, present, and future, is written in the Bible. It is written in the Bible. Your history, your present, and your future is written in the Bible. It's written in there. What you experience on the slave ship is in the Bible. What you experienced when you went down to Africa is in the Bible. You being in Spain and in Portugal, it is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Paul wrote letters to Negroes that was in Spain and Portugal, because Spain and Portugal was one place at one time. Paul wrote letters to people that was in Spain and Portugal. The scattering of you into slavery was written in the Bible. This is not no occult. This is prophecy. How can a person that say they're a prophet say that the prophets in the Bible is a lie? But what they prophesy is the truth. If Buddha prophesied about this right here, then I say Buddha is a real prophet. If your stone that you worship prophesied about this, if it opened his mouth and spoke and said it bear witness to the truth, believe what the stone say. But ain't no stone gonna cry out for me. Go ahead, family.
Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and drop off there. But I thank you for having me on the panel. You know, I'll continue listening. Go ahead and take me a nap.
Right. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm gonna be leaving soon too, but I just wanted to jump in on the legal side of it because that's what I do every day. Policy, legislation, law, just law. And the more that I do it, and have seen this over time, the more I realize they really don't have the true authority over justice and righteousness. We do, right? We have to realize that Psalm 89:14 says that the throne was founded upon righteousness and justice, and mercy and truth always go before the Father's face. And I just think about that, like we're made in his image and his likeness, and these people with their fraudulent justice system and their fake laws that they try to put in order are coming from a foundation of corruption, of deception, of stealing, killing, and destroying. And so they have to do these atrocious acts in order to make it seem like they have power and authority. And continue to tighten up on these laws in a way that put people to flight or fear in order to seem like they have that authority. And so I think that we just have to really pay attention to where we're at, because I'm just worried about people not having knowledge, lacking knowledge, not understanding exactly what is going on, who these people are, why are they doing these things, right? And I know that a lot of us teach something different every day from our respective roles and places in this decadent society. But even then, you can only do so much in 24 hours. So now I understand why Joshua asked the Father to make the sun stop on that day that he was battling his enemies. I understand that deeply. I really do. So that's pretty much what I see, and what I have to say is that they really don't have the authority over justice and righteousness. We do, and we have to understand how to use that.
So true, sister. And if do you have any closing things, anything that you could recommend to the family, anything that you're working on that you would like the family to help you with? If you want to speak to writers for life, I pinned her information under the video, and you could go speak to her. I don't think she meant it in a degrading way on what she was saying. Uh, but I believe that you and her, y'all can speak about this as well on her panel, because she has an open mind, you know. And I saw her a while back, and she was speaking about something and similar to this right here. Um, and she has children, and she don't want nothing to happen to her children. You know, I don't think
Yeah.
she want anything to happen to them when they get of age, and somebody may come up and so uh, I think that we just need to cover all bases of this information, and and we need to petition the throne. We done called and asked for people to help, and people are acting like they don't understand, and that show us that we need to call on y'all, because ain't nobody gonna help us. The scriptures
Nope.
say, trust not in the prince. You can't trust in a prince. You can't trust in your brother. You can't trust in your sister. You can't trust in your own familiar friend. The only one you could put your hope in is Yah. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have people that you can't confide in. I'm not saying that you can't trust that a person will be there, like if you sit down on the chair, that they're gonna be there like the chair would. But what I'm saying is, when it's saying trusting them with saving you out of this predicament, getting us all free, like a lot of our ancestors have fought and scrolled to do, only our power is able to deliver us. Somebody may have a different take on this, but that's what I take out of this, and I am entitled to what I've learned. People say they're entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled to what I studied and accept. All right, sister, if you want to close out, I would like for you to close out, and please take your time and say what you need to say.
Right now, what I want to say is that we need to be praying, fasting, and praying fervently and continually for the protection of our children. If you know me, I work, with our families and our children, trying to free them from the grip of the system, whether that's in education or the juvenile justice system or the child welfare system, and things are getting really, really bad. I'm talking about to where I can't go a day without a new phone call for help. I got grandmas calling me that are trying to do their very best to take care of their grandchildren, because for whatever reason, they're the ones that are caring for their grandchildren. I have, crying moms, even dads crying, calling me because they just don't have anywhere else to turn, right? For the help that they need for what's happening to our children in these wicked systems. And so we have to be praying fervently, and then also willing to act. Also willing to act and step in the gap on behalf of someone else, right? You see your brother or sister tired and burdened, and help if you can carry some of that, because this is hard when you feel like you can't protect yourself, and then now they messing with your children. My daughter is in a battle. I'm battling the system for my 30-year-old daughter, so that lets you know my parenting hasn't stopped. Right? They have my daughter incarcerated, 6 months pregnant, and I feel like it's a direct attack, retaliation against me, because they don't even have the evidence, and they keep saying, "Wait, we gathering it." But how long are you going to that's unconstitutional. You can't do that. They locked my daughter up about a month and a half ago, saying she kidnapped her own child and put her in jail on $1,100,000 bond. This is the time that we're in. People are getting picked up, and they'll hold you and ask questions later. And so it's happening to our children. And I'm a grandmother too. So I know I have to step in the gap and care for my grandchildren and do what I can. And it's a lot. But if we work with one another, because all we have is us and the Father, and that is greater than anything on this earth, right? Then we can overcome. I read through the book of Revelation and see, to he who overcomes, right? So that don't mean we're not going to be overwhelmed with the things that we see and we feel and we experience, but we have to become in the mindset of overcomers. That, Father, today, help me overcome. Help me overcome, right? And so Trust me, I'm in the trenches fighting the war for my own flesh and blood while I'm also battling for other children to be free. Please pray for me as I do my, due diligence to help families. But then also I want you to cover your children, your grandchildren, and those that are not even born yet, up to 1,000 generations, I pray. Just cover them in prayer. Cover them in prayer. So that will be my final word. I really don't, I need prayer, of course, for my daughter to be let go, and for everything to be dropped and for her to be free so that she can have my grandson, not in incarceration, but outside in her freedom. And, for the truth to just be exposed in her case, and that the right people would be locked up and she be freed. So for a divine retribution and a return.
Before you go, sister, I want to say this too, and I want you to say what you got to say. But I want to say this before you go. I want to give honor to my wife, give honor to Alahayim, and I want to give honor to the elders that came in, give honor to the brothers, give honor to the sisters, and I want to give honor and respect to the Gentiles, the strangers of other nations that believe in Yah and that want to make it into New Jerusalem, to that kingdom. And sister, I want you to keep on persevering. Life ain't gonna be easy, but nobody said it was gonna be easy. That what grandma and them said.
Yes, what they
Nobody
said.
told me the road was gonna be easy. But I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me now. And
Amen.
you just gotta keep on going, you know. And when you was younger, parents shielded you from a lot of stuff. And then when you get older, it's like you walking down, and I said this before, it's like you walking down a cold, dark road. It's dark, it's cold. Your mama ain't there. Your daddy's not there. You don't see any familiar friends. It'll get to the point where you're going to have to totally rely and look in the inside of yourself and ask Yah, where are you? But you got to keep on going in spite of any circumstance. Keep your hope in Yahweh's hand. And don't let nobody tell you that you don't need to have something that you got to accomplish in this life. When you don't have a goal, you're not living. You got to have something that you're working forward to doing. You can't just sit idle. You have to find something that you're working towards doing. Whether if it ain't nothing but trying to finish a basketball game. You got to have something that you are trying to accomplish and have a bigger goal at the end of it. And only a fool will reveal everything that they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so my last thing, and bless everyone. May the Lord bless you. May the Father bless you and keep you, and, keep you safe, provide for you. But my last thing that I want to say is today is the 28th. And so it is a, custom in my home that we read the proverb of the day, but I only want to just say Proverbs 28:1 and remind you of Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. And so with that, may you be blessed, safe, kept, and emboldened. I hope that you all just stay well and continue to occupy until he comes.